English News Assistant. Read the native language translation first, and follow the broadcasting to read aloud. Witness the miracle in 3 months.
After a weekend of mayhem, I'm beginning to understand why Russia's national symbol is the double-headed eagle, two heads staring in opposite directions. First, Yevgeny Prigozhin declares he's ready to go all the way in his mutiny against the Russian military. Then he makes a sudden U-turn and orders his Wagner fighters back to base. In a TV address, President Vladimir Putin declares the rebellion a criminal adventure, a grievous crime, treason, blackmail and terrorism. Yet just a few hours later, as part of an agreement with Prigozhin, it's revealed that all criminal charges against the Wagner leader are being dropped. So much for grievous crime. The Kremlin leader's mixed messages have been raising eyebrows here and changing perceptions of President Putin. He definitely looks weaker, says Remchikov, owner and editor-in-chief of, which is privately owned and one of Russia's main national dailies. You can't make a public statement declaring people are criminals and then, on the same day, at the end of the day, let your press secretary disagree with you and say no, those people haven't broken the criminal code. Big change? Bold prediction. But if change is coming, might the Wagner rebellion be the trigger? A deal may have been done and the mutiny called off. But the fact the uprising happened on Mr. Putin's watch is embarrassing for the president, who is also commander-in-chief of the Russian armed forces. All elite groups will now begin to think about the 2024 presidential election, predicts Mr. Remchikov. They will ask themselves whether they should rely on Vladimir Putin, as they have been doing until this military coup. Don't expect President Putin to concede that he got things wrong, though. Admitting mistakes and miscalculations is not his style. No one agreed to sign a contract with the Defense Ministry, since everyone knows very well from the current situation and their experience during the special military operation that this will lead to a complete loss of combat capability, Prigozhin said in the audio message. I was invited earlier this month to ride the Titanic submarine. I said no. Kind of scary that I could have been on it, Mr. Beast tweeted Sunday morning.
English News Assistant. Read the native language translation first, and follow the broadcasting to read aloud. Witness the miracle in 3 months.
1. Washington wonders whether the turmoil is over. Biden is turning the screw on Putin even as U.S. denies role in Russia's insurrection. 2. It's too soon to tell exactly where this is going to go, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on CNN's State of the Union on Sunday. I suspect that this is a moving picture. 3. At the same time, there is a sense that Putin, whose rule has long relied on his ability to keep various factions below and placated, has seen his credibility as a leader seriously wounded.
4. Russian President Vladimir Putin looked to set the tone Tuesday, just days after he faced a mutiny from the Wagner mercenary group, claiming they did not have the backing of the people.
5. The enemies of Russia wanted, the Nazis in Kiev and their Western sponsors and various assorted traitors, wanted bloodshed. They wanted Russian soldiers to kill each other. They wanted peaceful civilians and military personnel to die so that in the end Russia is defeated, our society is fractured and choked on the blood of internal strife, Putin said. 6. Wagner boss Yevgeny Prigozhin has arrived in Belarus, according to Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko. 2 planes linked to him landed at an airbase near Minsk Tuesday morning, according to satellite images. 7. Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin said on Monday that the country had faced a challenge to its stability and must remain united behind President Vladimir Putin following Saturday's abortive mutiny by heavily armed mercenary fighters. 8. There's still people underneath the rubble because it's a big restaurant, an eyewitness said. Dead people, people screaming, people crying, huge chaos, rescuers are trying to save them. 9. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky strongly stated that the recent attack is evidence that Russia should face defeat and fair justice through international courts for all those responsible for violence and terrorism. 10. In the face of continued global economic uncertainty, this budget increases our fiscal discipline by growing our budget reserves to a record $38 billion, while preserving historic investments in public education, healthcare, climate, and public safety, Newsom said. 11. Being a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model is a dream come true, Dunn said. There's a lot of young girls who look up to me, and I feel like a lot of young girls also follow Sports Illustrated. So, both of our brands, I think, align because we both want to inspire the younger generation.
English News Assistant. Read the native language translation first, and follow the broadcasting to read aloud. Witness the miracle in 3 months.
1. Hunter Biden demanded $10 million from a Chinese business associate to further the interest of his joint venture with a Chinese energy company, saying that the Bidens are the best I know at doing exactly. 2. If the chairman doesn't value this relationship as being worth at least $5 million, then I'm just baffled, Hunter writes. I am tired of this. I can make $5 million salary at any law firm in America. If you think this is about money, it's not. 3. 2 West Point classmates who made it to Congress, one Republican and one Democrat, John James and Pat Ryan, are teaming up on a bill aimed at expanding opportunities for veterans to pursue non-college educational opportunities with their GI Bill benefits. 4. This is just one hand, one rope, one ladder to help one of our brothers and sisters who may have fallen to the cracks. To get them back up and at least given another option to be able to provide for themselves again, not just profession, but purpose, James said. 5. Prigozhin's plot involved the capture of Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and top Army General Valery Gerasimov when the pair visited a region along the border of Ukraine, the Wall Street Journal wrote. 6. My intel analysis suggests the coup attempt was false flag operation, Koffler told Fox News Digital. It is a strategic move to beef up Russian force posture and open a second front for Western Ukraine war. 7. 11 people have been killed by Russian missiles that hit the center of Kramatorsk in eastern Ukraine on Tuesday, among them 14-year-old twin sisters Yulia and Anna Aksenchenko. 8. Honduras has reportedly embarked on a widespread crackdown on gang activity inside the country following a prison massacre that killed dozens of inmates and a shooting at a pool hall on Saturday. 9. Summer travel always brings highs, long-awaited vacations and sunshine, and lows, busy airports and packed planes. And if anyone's got intel on smoothly and successfully surviving summer travel, it's the flight attendants who've seen it all. 10. I'm feeling good. I'm excited about the future. I don't really feel bad about my decisions at all, Benson said. Mental health-wise, I feel good. I don't feel bad about myself. I feel kind of like a badass, a little bit.
English News Assistant. Read the native language translation first, and follow the broadcasting to read aloud. Witness the miracle in 3 months.
1. Historically, the first 3 months or thereabouts, in all major religions, that's between a woman and her doctor, Biden continued. The last 3 months have to be negotiated, because you can't unless you are in a position where your physical health is at stake. You can't do abortion. 2. Today, this court stands in the way and rolls back decades of precedent and momentous progress. It holds that race can no longer be used in a limited way in college admissions to achieve such critical benefits. In so holding, the court cements a superficial rule of colorblindness as a constitutional principle in an endemically segregated society where race has always mattered and continues to matter. 3. Well, I think they may do too much harm, but I think if we start the process of trying to expand the court, we're going to politicize it maybe forever in a way that is not healthy, that you can't get back, the president replied. 4. And I think maybe it's just the optimist in me. I think that some of the court are beginning to realize their legitimacy is being questioned in ways that had not been questioned in the past, Biden said. 5. Hunter Biden, the son of President Biden, appeared for questioning on Thursday as part of a legal case brought against him by the owner of a computer repair shop in Delaware. 6. Thousands of police deployed as Paris clashes escalate. I don't blame the police, Mania says, but she adds that the officer didn't have to kill my son. She led a march earlier, in memory of her son, after saying he was my life, my best friend. They've taken my baby. 7. Netanyahu and his supporters argued that the Supreme Court has become an insular, elitist group that does not represent the Israeli people. They argued the Supreme Court has overstepped its role, getting into issues it should not rule on. 8. One is known as General Armageddon, the other as Putin's chef. Both have a checkered past and a reputation for brutality. One launched the insurrection, the other reportedly knew about it in advance. And right now, both are nowhere to be found. 9. The commander of the Russian Air Force Sergei Surovikin and the Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin have not been seen in public in days as questions swirl about the role Surovikin may have played in Prigozhin's short-lived mutiny. 10. I always want shows of mine, every show for every artist, but I'm in control of this one. I just want it to be a safe place for everyone. We have little kids here. Will you help me do that tonight, please? Ballerini asked her audience.
English News Assistant. Read the native language translation first, and follow the broadcasting to read aloud. Witness the miracle in 3 months.
1. Oscar-winning actor Alan Arkin, whose eclectic career spans 7 decades, known for his roles in the award-winning series The Kominsky Method and the film Little Miss Sunshine, has passed away at the age of 89. 2. Our father was a uniquely talented force of nature, both as an artist and a man. A loving husband, father, grand and great-grandfather, he was adored and will be deeply missed. 3. "We were dirt poor, so I couldn't afford to go to the movies often," the actor once told the Associated Press. "But I went whenever I could and focused on movies, as they were more important than anything in my life." 4. "I believe it's all nonsense," expressed Arkin during an interview with USA Today just before the 2013 Oscars. "The entire thing is like a gamble. If I examine the movies that have won the Best Picture award in the last 50 years, 20 of them are simply absurd jokes." 5. "I find it insane for the industry to treat us like horses, focusing on who's in first or second place," Arkin shared with an audience at the Screen Actors Guild Foundation in 2012. "What I truly wanted was to touch people's hearts and emotions." 6. Arkin often spoke of an epiphany he had while singing on stage at the Olympia Theatre in Paris. "I looked down at myself and thought, who am I? What am I doing? And so I quit the next day and starved for a couple of years." 7. The actor had the opportunity to perform in several New York stages, which eventually led to an invitation to join a new improvisational group. 8. "The money some actors make, I mean, you're making millions of dollars to just come on and say, hello, so it has to be a really big hello," he said to Laughs at the Actors Guild event. "Money changes people. When you're making so much where not only you're rich, but your grandchildren never need to work." 9. "They do the lines, and I'd say, that was great, now do it again and lose the acting, and they would look so relieved," he said. The actors would feel freed up to be true to the performance they actually wanted to give, a performance that wasn't a performance. 10. Arkin expressed his thoughts on our current culture, noting the pervasive nature of selling. According to him, being authentic is what makes someone truly interesting.